Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are having an amazing day. It has unfortunately been quite a while since I have had a 5-star read. And when I say quite a while, I mean since March of this year. 3 months, because it's July now. 3 months. Absolutely unacceptable. So in today's video, we're going to be standing on business. We're going to be finding me that 5-star read, and this video is not going to end until we find said 5-star read. Currently, I am 20% of the way through Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Now, I know this is probably shocking to you if you've heard me talk about this series. I have said time and time again, I love Fourth Wing as a 5-star read, absolutely ate it up. Iron Flame, didn't really love it. When this came out in January, I said I wasn't going to force this on myself. I was going to wait until the exact moment that I was in the mood for it, and I am now in the perfect mood for it. I feel like I haven't read a fantasy in at least a few books, and my Libby Hole did come in as well at the perfect time. So I've mainly been reading it on my Kindle, which I feel like with a book of this size that I've been putting off and like a little bit intimidated and nervous to read is definitely helping me through my reading experience right now. I am surprisingly enjoying it quite a bit so far. If you don't know what this is about, this is the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. You're following our main character, Violet Sorrengail. She goes to Basgiath War College, where you can train to be either a dragon rider, a scribe, or I believe just in the infantry. Violet trained her whole life to be a scribe, and at the last minute she chooses to become a dragon rider. Now, being a dragon rider is like serious business. People pass away all the time in just training, so this is a pretty high stakes fantasy. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive back into reading it on my Kindle, and I will give you guys updates throughout my reading process. I'm 60% through Onyx Storm at this moment, and I don't think it's going to be a 5-star. I have a pretty good feeling about that. I feel like I've talked about this several times on my channel, but I did not enjoy Iron Flame, but I really liked Fourth Wing. We're gonna start with the positive first. The banter is so good. The banter is like 90%, maybe even more of this book, which I really do appreciate. It makes it really easy to keep reading, and that's why a lot of people say this is a great beginner fantasy book, or I guess fantasy book series, but whenever it's a lot more dialogue, it keeps me interested for a longer period of time. And the banter, the witty comebacks, all of that is really great. Rebecca Yarros does a very good job at that. Also love the dragons. That is genuinely one of my favorite parts of this series. It's why I keep reading it, because the dragons and their personalities just add so much to the book, and I feel like it helps me imagine what's going on, and it's just a very fun thing to imagine. I haven't read a lot of fantasy books with dragons. I want to read more about dragons and more about witches, but I need to finish all the fantasy series that I am currently reading first, and then I will get to those other ones. And before I get to the things that I don't enjoy about this book and this series, let me just say reading is subjective. If you love this series, I love that for you. I wish I loved this series as much as you do. But for me, a lot of the things in this book with the plot, they just don't really add up. I don't really fully know what's going on. I feel like this is more of a fantasy book that's just like vibes. You know, it's just vibes. There are way too many characters' names to keep track of, and I should not feel that way in the third book in a series. Along with the dragons too, I feel like I don't need to know every dragon's name. I don't need to know every character's name. And it's really hard to get to know these people because you get like thrown all these names at once and you just have to remember them instead of getting slowly introduced to characters. And we still only get Violet's POV in this book, and I feel like if you're gonna have so many characters, then a great way to introduce those characters and for you to be able to differentiate them and for them to each have like specific personality traits is for them to have their own POVs and their own little blurbs, kind of like in Throne of Glass. I know I talk about Throne of Glass all the time, but I think the way that Throne of Glass works so well, it makes me realize what doesn't work well in other fantasy series and why I'm not enjoying them as much. There are also just so many places to keep track of, and I feel like a lot of the times we're introduced to something the second it's happening, or like way before, and I'm like, I'm not remembering it. I can barely remember what happened in the first 2 books because I feel like it's stuff that's important, don't get me wrong, but it's also just like a whole lot of nothing. And that's why I say that this is more of a fantasy series for the vibes. I think I went into this the perfect way though. I didn't have super high expectations. I kind of just went in with an open mind. And surprisingly enough, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. It's very entertaining whenever you can let go of the other things. I feel like whenever I'm reading a fantasy book, I want to understand every little thing and be able to be like a little Nancy Drew mastermind up here and see what's coming next, see the plot twist, really get into these characters' heads. This one, I feel like, doesn't really allow me to do that because I'm never going to fully find the answers because they're just like, they're not there. I think one big reason though why I'm enjoying this more than Iron Flame is because I have been hybrid reading this. I feel like I've probably read a little bit more physically than I've been listening to it, but I've been listening to the graphic audio and it is so well done. It makes it more atmospheric and you kind of get to know the characters better because they all have like their own voice, and I feel like it's just helping me with the pacing of this book since it is so long. So I highly recommend hybrid reading it. Honestly, I didn't think I was ever really going to pick this book up. So when I was in the mood for it, I was honestly shocked, and so I am even more shocked that I am enjoying it this much. It is genuinely just fun and entertaining, and I feel like that is all that I can ask for. Now, I'm not getting all the plot things and all the answers to every little thing that I really want, but I'm having a great time right now, and that is really all that matters.
I have 2% left, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of frustrated. Still been hybrid reading, still trying my best to enjoy the experience as much as I can and just going for the entertainment value rather than having to know every little thing. But once I got to 70%, I genuinely just didn't care that much anymore. I feel like because I don't know the characters that well and I'm not connecting with them as much, it's harder just to care about the things that end up happening to them. I don't really feel any connection to them, if we're being completely honest. I also feel like the imagery is not there and everything is kind of all over the place, which makes it hard to be invested in the story because it's kind of like taking me out of it. In other fantasy books, whenever I don't fully understand the world building or fully understand like the magic system, I do have to let it go and just kind of like wait until it's fully explained and just kind of go with the flow. So I'm used to doing that. But in this one, it's like it's never coming full circle for some reason. It's like it's explained, but not fully. And it's just kind of frustrating, to be completely honest. I'm 738 pages in, and I feel like I don't fully understand everything that is going on. I have questions, but like I'm just not going to get the answers to them, which is also really frustrating because again, I committed to 738 pages and the other 2 books, which are quite big as well. It says I have 25 minutes left of the book, so I'm just going to finish it tonight and then start our next book, and I hope that I will enjoy it a lot more. A few things before we start talking about books. I'm currently in some cozy clothes because there is a perfect summer storm going on right now. And by perfect, I mean perfect for reading. So I'm going to do a lot of reading tonight and I'm so excited because I am loving the current book I'm reading. Second thing, I'm using my mini mic because Luke is gaming with his friends in the other room right now. And honestly, our apartment has like no noise control from room to room. It sounds like you're in that room where somebody's talking, no matter what room you're in, if the door is closed or not. And I'm also using it because it's about to be storming out. And I feel like the only times I use these mics is really just if Luke is making noise that I'm going to hear in the background of the audio from my camera. And I feel like I've noticed over time without the mics that it can be a little distracting to listen to. Or like in my car, since she's old, she is a little bit loud, so I always use it in my car as well, or while I'm out and about, or if I'm farther away from the camera. There are a lot of instances where I use my mini mic. I'm just saying this because there's a lot of discourse online right now about how it's like annoying for creators to use them in every single video. And I feel like I use mine because I know it's just gonna be better for the editing process, honestly, but also for you guys, audio quality wise. Long story short, hopefully you guys don't mind the mini mics too much because they are genuinely handy, especially as somebody who lives in a small 1-bedroom apartment. Anyways, now that I got that little spiel out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros because I did end up finishing it. This is definitely not a 5-star for me. I'm not 100% sure on what I'm gonna rate it yet. I'm thinking a 3-star or below. Was it entertaining at some parts? Yes, but does that outweigh the other things that I've said about this book and this series that just don't really add up or make sense to me? No. I know there are so many people who love this series too, and I am so glad that you love it. I wish I could love it as much as you, but for me, it just doesn't hit. And I was talking to Bessie Lottie the other day and telling her my feelings on it, and I think at this point, I'm not going to continue the series, and I'm just going to watch the TV show. I think the dragons and all of those elements are so fun, and I think that this series does have things that I definitely enjoy, and I can see why other people enjoy it. I just think that at this point, there are so many books by so many different authors that I really want to read, and if I'm struggling to get through this when I could be reading a book that I absolutely love, I would rather read the book that I absolutely love. But at the end of the day, I did end up enjoying this more than Iron Flame, so I'm going to take that as a win, and that is kind of that on that at this point. But the current book that I'm reading, you guys already saw because I already started it in this video in the B-roll portion. I am absolutely eating this book up. And that book is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I am so shocked because I've read Carly Fortune's other 3 books. The first 2, Every Summer After and Meet Me at the Lake, I did not like, but I could also recognize that her writing was really good and it's very atmospheric and also just very bingeable. I feel like as a writer, she is somebody where I read her books and I look up and I'm like, okay, I'm at page 50. And then I read and then I look up again and it feels like no time has passed and I'm at page 100. Her third book this summer will be different. I actually really enjoyed because I liked the plot of that one more and the writing was still good, of course, but the first 2, the problem was the plots for me. I didn't like the plots at all. This one, I am loving the plot. And of course, the writing is good as well. In One Golden Summer, we are following our main character, Alice Everly. She's a photographer who's kind of like lost her zest for life right now. She needs to be re-inspired. She just went through a rough breakup as well, and her nan actually just got hurt. So her nan needs somebody to look after her, and she made some arrangements, and they end up going to Barry's Bay, which if you've read Every Summer After, that is where that is set as well. Barry's Bay is this cottagey little lake town, and Charlie Florek from Every Summer After, he's the older brother, is basically helping around the house that Alice and Nan are staying at for the summer. He's doing maintenance and also just doing little things to make it easier for Nan to get around because she does have to use a walker now. And honestly, Alice and Charlie meet, the rest is history. This man's banter, are we joking? I'm currently on page 102 and I have just been like kicking my feet and giggling at basically every single thing that this man has said, and I'm absolutely loving it. I feel like I relate to Alice quite a bit too. Whenever she has a lot going on in her life, she throws herself into work and she always wants to be there for people and helping people. She is very much a busybody, especially whenever she has a lot going on mentally. And honestly, the way that Charlie and Alice are like messing with each other and just chatting it up with each other, like I am literally smiling right now thinking about it. Last night I was reading, I think I read like 30 pages last night in bed, and I kept catching myself smiling at this book. Like that's how I know that I'm absolutely loving it. And you know, I obviously don't want to speak too soon or anything. I'm only 100 pages in, but this might be our last book of the video. It has been a while since I have loved a romance book this much that I just cannot put it down. Last night I ended up getting to page 231, so I have like a third of the way left. Charlie Florek was literally making me giggle. I was giggling my ass off in my room by myself at Charlie Florek's words. He just has such good games, such good banter. Love him. I feel like him and Alice are like perfect matches. They always want to be there for people. They care about people so much, and they have like very good instincts and intuition on what people need. And if they care about you, they are ride or die for you. That's just like how they are. I feel like the pacing of this book has been so good too. There has not been a moment where I've wanted to put it down, and I just got to a part, I had to stop last night because I was falling asleep while I was reading, but I just got to a part that's like sparked my interest even more because I'm really interested as to what the certain people in this part of the book have to say about Charlie. Because if you've read Every Summer After, you know, but Charlie has been through a lot in his life, and I feel like getting to hear more about his story has been really interesting, even though I did not like Every Summer After at all. I love Alice. I feel like I relate to her on like a weirdly insane deep level. I don't even want to describe it because I feel like that's gonna get a little too personal for me, since I did just say I relate to her a lot, but to me she is just so relatable. She is just so real and so human. I also just absolutely adore Alice's Nan. She is so cute. She has so much personality, and she kind of has like her own thing going on too, which has been interesting to learn about as well. And the way that Charlie hangs out with Alice and her Nan, like, are you kidding me? That is goals. That is so freaking adorable. I'm actually in the Starbucks parking lot right now because I have a gift card, so I figured I might as well use it. So I'm gonna go do some editing and do some reading, and I had to update you guys now because if I get too excited, I might just finish it without giving you another update. So I got my update in. I'm still really getting those 5-star feelings. I'm really hoping this is gonna be our 5-star book, which I'm really surprised about because every other time I've done this video, it's taken like a lot of books to get to the 5-star book and end the video. So I'm kind of setting a personal best record right now. I'm on page 348, which means I have like 20 pages left of this book, and I have been sobbing my eyes out for so many different reasons. There's so many different like layers to it too. The way that Charlie and Alice just like know each other so well and care for each other so deeply. They're just absolutely meant for each other and is exactly what each other needs. I genuinely just cannot put this book down. Like, Carly Fortune's writing it's just so all-consuming. You just start reading and like you can't stop. One of my first updates was just like, Carly, did you put drugs in here? And I swear she did, because like I literally cannot stop reading it. Like, I love the story, I love the characters, I feel so connected to every single character. I feel like I'm right there too. I can picture everything perfectly in my mind. I have not had a book make me feel this way in so long, and it just feels so good. And I know I'm saying that while I'm sobbing, but every once in a while there's a book that just reminds you why you love reading so much, and this is definitely one of them. I am rating One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune 5 stars. I still cannot believe that I found my 5-star book on the second book of the video. That's literally unheard of for me. And it's also from an author whose work that I haven't enjoyed that much in the past, but this book, it's so good. Like, it's honestly up there with Happy Place for me. I felt so insanely connected to the characters. I not only loved both Alice and Charlie separately, I loved them together. I was rooting for them the entire time. All of the side characters had their own stories and things going on too, which made them very interesting and intriguing to me. The pacing was so excellent. There was never a time during this book where I was bored. I was always ready to read it and intrigued and just wanting to keep turning the pages. It had me laughing, it had me crying, it had me feeling. I had so many visceral reactions to it, and that's how I know it's a 5-star. Not only the feeling, but also the content of this book is just so well done. The writing, the bingeability, just the way that everything flows together, the storytelling, the character dynamics. Like, I seriously have not felt this way about a book in so long, and I am so happy. This is now officially your sign that if you have not read this book yet this summer, you have to. It is so excellent, and I love it so much. And with that, since I officially found my 5-star, that means that this video is over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you watched until this far in the video, go ahead and comment down below the boat emoji so I know who the real ones are who watched until the very end. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, don't forget to follow my socials, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Goodreads. I'm always updating on there, and they're always linked down below in every single video. All right, I think that's gonna be it for me today. I love you guys so much. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Family time. Forgot that the battery was dead.
Mic drop. So I am currently in some clothes? Huh?
No. That is not a toy. That's my microphone, Eardo.
Okay.
I'm sitting here sobbing about the book I'm currently reading, and Melly is literally going insane and having zoomies in her crate. And that's why getting mini mics is the best thing I've ever done for being a content creator. Oh, the storm is starting. Period.